Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie, and today's video I wanted to have some real talk about the adjustments that we have to make in homeschool sometimes based on how our children are doing. Now, this has been a real life thing for me recently because I've noticed that my children have gotten so far in their math pages, but they're getting a little bit stuck, and I'm needing to kind of change things up a little bit so that they are again not getting frustrated and finding it impossible. And then at the same time making sure that I'm doing what they need so that they can proceed and get better rather than just stuck in the same spot. So I'll talk about specifically both of my daughters. So for my eldest daughter, she has the personality of, I get things done. I always do them really well. I am happy, and if I get bored, then I just don't want to do it. She's very exacting personality, which is quite awesome and fun at times, and then at other times you're like, oh my goodness. One of the things that we've noticed is with her math. She does, in the morning, she does her math, she does her chores, she does her Bible studying, and she does that before breakfast. But she imposed on herself a 9 a.m. Cutoff time. That's when she was done so that she could get to what she wanted to do, which was reading. Now, ordinarily that hasn't been an issue or a problem, but now that she's getting into more long division with bigger numbers and then multiplying those numbers and trying, like, where you have 3 lines of, or 3 digits by 3 digits and multiplying those. If you get one question wrong, you're in a hurry or you forget to carry the 1 or any number of things, then very quickly all of those answers are wrong. And so she's been finding that incredibly frustrating because usually things come pretty easy for her. So it was a big thing to kind of sit down with her and tell her everything is going to be okay if you get done at 9:30 instead of 9. And it was funny too because as you're sitting down with her and she's like, no, but I was like, we can't move on until you get above 80 on your test consistently, so I know that you're actually doing the work and doing it properly and understanding what's happening. So if you miss answers on a test regularly, then you're going to have trouble moving forward. So that kind of helped assuage, is that the right word? Just calm down her rush to get done in the morning. It's first thing in the morning. Who wants to do long division and big multiplication problems first thing in the morning? Apparently she does, but let's not rush. So with my other daughter, I will leave a link down below to eye therapy and what that is, but she had issues with her eyes and it was sending wrong signals to her brain about what she was seeing. And so there's been a few consequences post eye therapy, not anything crazy bad, but she struggles with memory. And we're at a place in our math journey where multiplication facts are a thing. So it's been very, very interesting to try and come up against this wall of, okay, how do I solve this? How do I deal with this? And if you saw my video when I was picking out curriculum for my girls, I specifically talked about the Good and the Beautiful musical multiplication and just how I was really excited to use this with her because while my daughter has memory issues, she's usually pretty good about remembering songs, and so I thought that this would be helpful. The issue that has come from it is that the way they structured this, the multiplications aren't in any sort of order. So all the songs for each multiplication fact is entirely different. And then each book has the 3 times tables, a 6 times table, a 5 times table, an 8 times table, 8 and 3, 5, 9, and a 6 times table. And so there's no real rhyme or reason to it. And I have found that my daughter listened to these a bunch, and she even had some of her favorites, but she's remembering the song, not the fact. So what ended up happening is she'll sing da-dun, 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 and it'll be a completely different numbers that she's singing, which means that the answer is not correct at the end of the song. And so I was sitting there going, okay, well, this is not working. Another thing that wasn't working was I had her math in this binder, and I still do, but I put it in later because I was noticing that she would fill this in, and then for the rest of the pages, she would copy what was written in the day before. So all the mistakes that she had made before were being transferred to the next day's math facts. And that was if she didn't just outright have her sister help her by writing all of the math facts in the middle of the page. So I was looking at and going, okay, she's not actually getting any practice here, because it's either she's writing it down or whatever. So yeah, what do you do as a parent, and what do you do as a homeschool teacher going, okay, how do I do this? Because it wasn't like she ever did it in front of me to see because I don't know, children are smart, and they would know that I'd be like, wait a minute. It would always be when I was in the bathroom getting ready, or when I was sleeping in because Darian didn't sleep until 2 in the morning. And so what I've been doing is, because with Matthew C. Gamma in particular, we went from really easy ones, 1, 2 times tables, 5 times tables, 10 times tables, to 3 and 9 times tables. And that was just a stretch too far for Sienna. And so what I did is I've been using the K5 Learning. I'll leave a link down below. It's entirely free. You can print as many pages as you want. And we've been just doing this. And then I have her use the Matthew C blocks to make sure that she's getting the answers correctly. And she's done a pretty good job of, I noticed she started doing this a couple of weeks ago, where she writes down the 9 times tables and the 3 times tables up here, just to give her some added help so that she doesn't have to grab each block every single time, which I'm okay with, because I look at it and go, she did it at the very beginning, and that's kind of like first level skip counting, if you will. So the other thing I'm going to do for her to help her is we're going back to the flashcards. But I wanted to share how I'm going to be introducing these. If I can remember, I'm going to try and leave the link down below. These were also free, a PDF that I was able to find, and then I just printed them in the size that I wanted. But flashcards are not super exciting and super flashy, and she has zero desire to do them. So I printed off all of them. I printed off the easy ones, the ones that she finds easy. I have a whole bunch printed out that I haven't cut out yet. But I want to give her a feeling of success. So the first ones that we're going to do are going to be ones that she finds relatively easy, and then I'm just going to start slipping, that's the word I was looking for, slipping in just a few different ones of the 3 times tables, that she might know, she might not know, and just fit them in every once in a while, and it'll pop up one that she might know, she might not know, or and then we'll say, okay, well, those were ones that we're going to work on, but great job, you did most of them, you got most of them right. And so slowly as we go through, then the ones times tables will disappear, or the fives times tables will disappear, and then more and more of these ones will poke their way in. But it's been one of those things with her personality that positive reinforcement is really important for her, not to get overwhelmed or discouraged. And I was looking at it and going, yeah, I don't think there's a way that I can get around doing this. Yeah, like the musical multiplication didn't work, and that was kind of my hope that, you know, that would help her retain the facts better. And I think we're just going to have to go with standard and true and take the time to really learn those. So that's our journey in math I wanted to share with you, because I think that it's an issue and a problem. Yeah, those are wrong words. I think they are hurdles that we can come across regularly when we're teaching any subject. Could be writing, could be history. It's really easy for sometimes things to kind of get halted, and our whole homeschool seems to just, you know, hit the grinding halt, and we as homeschool parents have to go, okay, how do I creatively solve this problem? How do I move past this barrier that we're having? In the meantime, I hope that this has been encouraging for you. There's no hurdle that I think is impossible. It's just, I think, because I've had a child with autism and hurdles seem to be something I regularly deal with, I think that it's a little bit easier to look at it and go, okay, this is an issue, but it's not the end of the world. And it's really easy, I think, for us to go, oh, they're getting so far behind because we're not moving forward, and are we going to finish the curriculum? That was the other thing that I did with Inara too, because she's so far ahead in her curriculum. I'm like, we can stay in this, you know, doing long division and multiplication, like big long questions. We can stay here for like several months, because we have till the end of June before school ends, and you have, I think she's got maybe 8 lessons left in her book. So that kind of helped, you know, kind of go, okay, I don't want to be doing this for several months. So it's just a fun way, I think, of being able to see these hurdles as ways to kind of check to see that we're doing things that work for our kids, that help us maintain creativity as parents, and just go, we can do this, and my kids, you can do this too. And anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. I hope this has been encouraging. If you find yourself in a position where my kids are struggling. I had that with writing last year, and there's curriculums that you can find. Even in math, there's games that you can find, books that you can find. I really encourage you not to get discouraged. I promise you'll figure it out. Thanks for taking the time to watch this episode, and we will talk to you next time. Hope you're having a fantastic homeschool day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.